Hey, what's good, champions? Arian, Tyson here. Listen, I wanted to shoot this video because I've had a very interesting day today, and I had an opportunity to just think about a lot of hard lessons. And there have been a lot of brutal lessons that I've had to learn along the way in my life that have actually made life beautiful. And so I want to share with you some brutal lessons that ultimately make life beautiful. So if you get value from this video, feel free to like, comment, and share this video. The most common reason for our collective suffering on an average day is our resistance to the truth. A popular term now is gaslighting, and a lot of people love to gaslight or they like to deflect and play the blame game. But I often heard it said best that when you point the finger, you normally have three fingers pointing back at you. And I've learned that in the process of dealing with lessons and learning lessons as we go through life, sometimes it's brutally hard to accept life's greatest lessons, and yet we must do it because it's lessons like the ones that I'm going to share that ultimately make our lives beautiful by showing us how to thrive even through the toughest of times. So, in this video, I'm going to share two brutal lessons that ultimately make life beautiful. The first brutal lesson that ultimately makes life beautiful is that everything and everyone in life is limited. Everything and everyone in life is limited. Here's the thing, you can never read all the books you want to read. You can never train yourself in all the skill sets that you want to have. You can never be all the things you want to be and live all the lives you want to live. You can never spend all the time you want with the people you love. You can never feel every possible temperature, every possible tone, every possible variation of emotion in a given situation. You are incredibly limited, just like everyone else. And here's the thing, when I was a kid, one of my favorite games was a game called the Game of Life. And what's interesting is in the game of life, we all receive a unique set of unexpected limitations and variables in the field of play. The question is, how will you respond to the hand that you've been dealt? You can either focus on the lack thereof, or you can empower yourself to play the game sensibly and resourcefully, making the very best of every outcome as it arises, even when it's heartbreaking and hard to accept. In the end, what matters most is to focus on what matters most. By doing so, you get to truly experience the various sources of beauty and opportunity in your life while each of them lasts. Let's take a moment and revisit the notion of being limited by the reality of not being able to spend all the time you want with someone you love. For example, I just had a dear friend of mine suddenly lose her mother. She found her mother dead less than 2 weeks ago. Well, a little bit over 2 weeks ago now. And we had her home going this past Friday. And when you lose someone, When someone you love passes away too soon, that's undoubtedly one of the most heartbreaking situations to deal with. It is one of the most heartbreaking limitations to cope with. And the general principles for coping with this kind of tragic limitation is universally applicable to less severe situations as well. For example, imagine a person who gave meaning to your life is suddenly no longer in your life, at least not in the flesh. And you're not the same person without them. You have to change who you are. You're now a best friend who sits alone, or you're a widow instead of a wife, or you're a dad without a daughter, or a next door neighbor to someone new. These are just examples. You want life to be the way that it was before the death, but it will never be. I have dealt with the loss of my father. I have dealt with losing a couple aunts, and all of my paternal aunts, uncles are gone. All of my paternal uncles are gone. So I know from experience that when you lose someone that you can't imagine living without, your heart breaks wide open. And the bad news is you never completely get over the loss. You will never forget them. However, in a backwards way, this is also the good news. You see, death is an ending, which is a necessary part of living. And endings are necessary for beauty too. Otherwise, it's impossible to appreciate someone or something because they are unlimited. Limits illuminate beauty, and death is the definitive limit. A reminder, it serves as a reminder that you might be aware of this beautiful person or you might be aware of this beautiful situation and appreciate this beautiful thing called life. The problem is, death is also a beginning because while you've lost someone special, while you've lost someone special, here's what we have to realize, here's what we have to understand. This ending, like every loss, is a moment and an opportunity of reinvention. Now, although sad, their passing forces you to reinvent your life. And in this reinvention, it's an opportunity to experience beauty in new, unseen ways and places. And finally, of course, death is an opportunity to celebrate a person's life and to be grateful for the priceless beauty they showed you. And then another way, another brutal lesson is that no matter how hard you work, you can't have everything you want. No matter how hard you work, you cannot have everything you want. Eventually, most of us end up settling in some part of our life. You might not want to hear that, but it's the truth. We let go of certain ideals and dreams, we compromise, and we make trade offs. We gradually learn that we can't have everything we want because not every outcome in life can be perfectly controlled. But if we pay close attention, we also learn that we can make the best of every outcome and still get a lot of what we want in life if we manage our time, manage our energy, and manage our attitude appropriately. Now, these realizations collectively lead to an interesting question. When should you settle or compromise? And when should you continue fighting hard for what you ideally want to achieve. Now, here's the thing, there is no one size fits all answer to this question. But when you encounter a situation that forces you to choose between compromise and fighting forward against the opposition, it might help to also ask yourself, do I really need this or do I kind of just want it? Being able to distinguish needs from wants is essential in every area of life. Never let go of an outcome you truly need in your life, but be reasonably flexible on the outcomes you want, but could be fine living without. In other words, choose your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely. And don't let perfect become the enemy of great. Remind yourself that what you pay attention to grows. What you pay attention to grows. So focus on what really matters and let go of what does not matter. Don't give up 50% of your life working 50-hour weeks at a day job that makes you absolutely miserable. Don't abandon your sanity for the wrong reasons. Don't neglect lifelong goals and dreams that have withstood the test of time and still bring incredible meaning into your life. If you really need something, fight hard for it. But for everything else, let go a little, loosen your grip, and dare I say, compromise, settle. Settle on less of the unessential to get more of what you really need and want in your life. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope that it was of value to you. If it was, feel free to like, comment, and share this video. If you have not already done so, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so that you can get notified of when I upload new content. Thank you so much to those who have recently subscribed. Thank you so much to those who continue to rock with me. I appreciate you. As always, in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. Is yours truly, Arian Tyson, and I will talk to you on the next one. Peace.